Welcome back to Market Movers. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Today is March the 29th, 2021, and we do have 15 movers to go over here today. And the first one on the list is actually a fetch land that we've seen before, and this is Wooded Foothills. This is Zendikar Rising Expedition version of the card. This is up 5.21% from 46.82 to 49.26 as its average price on the market. Now, there was an expedition that came out in the original Zendikar, which I actually think has better art, and there's less copies of this for sale as well on the market. Next up on the list is Mana Vault. This is the 5th edition version of the card, up 5.23%, seeing new all-time highs today from 57.02 to $60 on the market, and there is a ton of decks that are using this. Obviously, it's a powerhouse in Commander, a very popular artifact, but it also sees play in Paradoxical Outcome and Vintage. Imperial Recruiter from Masters 25. This is up 5.50% from 22.89 to 24.15, and it's still nowhere near its old price points from the Portal 3 Kingdoms, but it does see a bit of play in Commander and even in a Legacy deck as well. Okay, the next card on the list is Blight Steel Colossus. This is up 5.97% from 34.18 to 36.22. Nowhere near its big highs, but still it does see a bunch of play in Commander and a Paradoxical Outcome deck in Vintage. And there is a cheaper copy on the market for Double Masters. It's about $36 to $40 on the market. Next up is Arboria from Legends. This is up 6.21% here today from $16.42 to $17.44, seeing new all-time highs. And this card sees no play in any decks that I could find, but it's the only printing of the card, so it's almost like a reserveless card from Legends. Next up on the list is Scroll Rack from Commander Legends. This is up 6.30% from $20.33 to $21.61. Now, this was reprinted fairly recently in Commander Legends, but it does see a bunch of play, so there's a high demand for it. Most recently in a registered Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow deck in Commander. Next up on the list is Smothering Tithe from Ravnica Allegiance. This is up 6.69% from $33.50 to $35.74. A very expensive rare from a fairly cheap box to get from Ravnica Allegiance. It sees a ton of play in Commander, which is why I think the card was designed, not really so much for Standard. Next, it's Scalding Tarn from Zendikar Rising Expeditions. This is up 7.12% from $85.31 to $91.38, and this is obviously the non-foil price. Battle for Zendikar had another expedition of Scalding Tarn, which I actually think has better art and a better foiling on it as well, but it is a lot more expensive, as you can see there. Next up is Sliver Hive Lord from Magic 2015. This is up 8.45% from $35.01 to $37.97. Now, this card was also reprinted in Mystery Boosters, so you can find a cheaper copy there, but it does see a ton of play, obviously, as Slivers do see a ton of play in Commander. And the third most registered decks using it as a Commander, there's 14 copies of it on MTG Goldfish. Balduvian Trading Post from Alliances. This is a reserve list card, up 9.17%. from $11.89 to $12.98. It did see a bit of a retrace, but now it looks like it's bouncing back up because it does see some play in Commander, and most recently a Jeskai Thrice Reborn deck as well. Next up is Ferexian Arena from 8th edition. This is obviously a card that was printed in a variety of sets. This particular copy is up 9.24% from $13.10 to $14.31. And now this card does see a bunch of play in Commander, where it shines the most, and most recently a registered deck, a Tegrid God of Fright deck that utilizes it. Next up on the list is Pixie Queen from Legends. This is a reserveless card with beautiful Quentin Hoover art. This is up 10.65% from $97.02 to $107.35. Now, this card sees no play in any registered decks that I could find, but you know what? Absolutely stunning art, and it's a reserveless card from Legends, so there's not a lot of copies available. Next up is Underworld Breach from Theros Beyond Death. Now, this card is up 18.21% from $560 to $662. Now, this card was printed fairly recently in Theros Beyond Death, but there's still a high demand for outside of Standard, and it does see a bunch of play in Commander, but also it's a staple deck in Vintage that is also a really great deck to beat in Vintage, the format. Trade Windrider from Tempest. This is up 29.75% from $5.68 to $7.37. Now, this is not a reserveless card, but still a very old card from Tempest. and there's a lot of, you're going to find a lot of trouble finding near mint copies of this card on the market, and it does see a bit of play in one registered Jorn God of Winter deck, which is a recent card we got in Kaldheim. Next up on the list is Deserted Temple, and this is the #1 slot on the list here today from Odyssey. This is a rare, up 32.42% from 27.76 to 36.76, seeing new all-time highs. Now you can add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool, and you can use 1 mana and tap it to untap target land. So it is a useful card, and that's why it does see a bunch of play. And most recently, it sees play in a commander deck, a Tegrid God of Fright deck, which is a commander that we see a ton on these market movers. But nonetheless, very powerful card, very great land. And now we have cheapest reserveless cards. So what are the cheapest reserveless cards? We talk about reserveless cards a lot on this channel, obviously, but I've been noticing that, they're not so cheap anymore. These are the absolute cheapest 4 cards that I could find, starting off with Icatian Skirmishers from Fallen Empires. Now, this is about $1.50 to $3 on the market, which is a lot more expensive than it was, if you look, just about a month ago. And it's increasing, it looks like, almost every day. But will it retrace? That's a question for a further video. But Mountain Titan, another one. I love the gold border, the old multicolor frames on the older Magic the Gathering cards. This is from Ice Age. Great arts. I'm getting very strong Gimli vibes there, even though it is a Titan, not a dwarf. This is about $1.94 to $2.50 as its average price on the market. But will it go down? Let's talk about the next card. Another gold border card, old frame. This is a Rakdos card, though. This is Discordant Spirit from Mirage. This is about $1.99 to $3.18. Now, it is a spirit. Spirits are a pretty powerful tribe in Magic, so maybe it could fit in a deck one day, but it's not really a powerful card. It's more just a reserveless card. So this, there's scarce, and there's the reprint policy, obviously, that keeps it from being reprinted. Baki's Curse from Homelands. This is about $2.81 is its average price on the market, and this is the 4th cheapest card that I could find. That's a reserveless card. Okay, final thoughts on the market. We do have some interesting movers here to talk about today. Underworld Breach, it's a surprise. I haven't seen that too much on this list before, as it is a staple deck now in Vintage, and it doesn't just see play there. It sees a ton of play in Commander. When it comes to reserveless cards, yeah, there's not too many on the list here today. They've been not retracing, but they've been exhausting a little bit, which is obviously completely normal, as they've seen such crazy heights. But as the stimulus checks get sent out to people, I imagine there's going to be another buyout in the next coming weeks, and we'll be obviously going over those on these market movers today. And I just want to let people know I do make these videos on Monday to Friday, so please, if you're new to the channel or if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and then hit that like button and comment with your thoughts on the market down below. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Being a patron will help me produce more market movers and add to the funds that I will use for my random buys, and also to my coffee fund, because I drink a lot of coffee for these videos. And here you can see a link below in the description that will give you all the tiers and what you get in each tier. So I hope you guys click and think about joining. And with that, I'll see you next video. Think about supporting the channel in that way. If not, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will see you again in the next video.